What is happening, guys? Plays here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a deck profile for my second place Purrely list from the MCS, from the second MCS, hosted by MBT. So shout out to them. That is an absolute awesome tournament, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to play in it. So I was able to get second place in this. Really quickly, I want to go over something. As you all know who are watching the video, I go by Plays. But my real name is Nick. And recently I've switched my in-game name and my Discord name to Nick because everybody pronounces my name wrong. Everyone pronounces it Cody when it's not. It's Cody. It's a play on my last name. So I've switched my name to Nick for the most part just because it's easier and everyone, it's just easier. And I like my name. So I'm thinking about switching it on YouTube as well, but just haven't gone to that effort yet. So Nick is Cody Plays. And Cody Plays is Nick. Just wanted to get that out there. And as you can see from my Master Meta profile here, this is me. I was able to get second place in the MCS with my Purrely list. I'm gonna jump over to DB, so over to Dueling Book, just because I think Dueling Book is a little bit better of a place to talk about, to organize a deck and to talk about it and to talk about the side deck and all that stuff. I think it's better than Master Duel Meta and honestly Master Duel itself. So really quickly, I'm going to go over how the format of this tournament was structured for those of you who don't know, and then we'll get into the deck profile, and we'll get into the matchups. So this is it's a Swiss best of one. I wonder if it actually says on here. So well, okay, there it is. It was 256 players. Actually, I don't know if there's that many people, but that was the cap. It's a best of one Swiss with 30-minute round time, best of three top cut, one deck, 15-card side deck in top cut, and then one deck. And there's one deck for the entire event. So you submit your main deck at the start of it. You play that main deck the entire event. You also play that main deck in top cut, but then you can add a side deck for top cut. So overall, I was second in Swiss. I went 7-1. I lost to the person who came in first in Swiss, who was also the eventual winner of the tournament, who I lost to in the finals as well. So that guy really had my number. But yeah, it was a really fun tournament. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I played Purrely. I think Purrely and Labyrinth are clearly the two best decks in the game. But the reason I decided to go with Purrely over Lab is just because I like this deck more. I just don't like floodgates like that. I mean, I know you can kind of say Noir's a floodgate. But what I find with Lab personally is Lab is really reliant on drawing non-engine in order to win. Whereas Purrely doesn't need that. Purrely can just win with its engine, and I really like that. However, this deck does lose to a lot, and losing to all the stuff, the stuff that I lost to is, I don't want to say it's humbling because I already knew that it was a thing, but it's really just, there's a very clear plan of beating this deck, and they were just able to execute it, and I couldn't do anything about it, and that's really, really unfortunate, but we'll talk about all that stuff in a little bit. So I played Purrely just because I think this is the best deck. It's my favorite deck. It's really fun to play. It's really fun to play going second in particular, which is why I like it. But yeah, enough rambling. So I played 5 normal summons. I played 3 white cat and 2 black cat. The reason I went with this ratio is because in my side patterns prior to the tournament, I was planning out side patterns for when and if I topped. I found myself always siding out a black cat, going first or second. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm always going to side this out, why don't I just, take it out of my deck? What's the point of keeping it in my deck if I don't want it compared to other cards? Games 2 and 3. So, why would I want it game 1 in, a Swiss tournament that's only best of ones? So I decided to cut it. I cut it for another talents. You could cut it for, you could play, some more hand traps. You could, something else that I've been trying is, Frame. So playing 2 Gammas, a Driver, and an Omega, cut out the Fenrir's 1 talent, and then, the Happiness from the extra deck. Play a Gamma package in the main deck. That's really solid. But I decided to just stick with the Fenrir's and play 3 talents and 2 black cats. It was really solid. I never needed a third one. The only time a third one ever comes up is when you're in a really crazy grind game, or if you play incorrectly. Because generally, if you need to summon a third or a fourth one of this, you should be able to cycle the trap properly and cycle them back into the deck. So You definitely don't need 3 of those. And also, it's really not good to draw multiple of these, honestly. So I really like the 3-2 ratio. I'm probably going to stick with it. Then I played 3 My Friend, 2 Field Spell, 1 Trap, 3 Delicious, 3 Sleepy, 3 Happy, 3 Pretty. All the quick plays are obvious. The My Friends are obvious. The non of those, the Field Spell and the Trap, if I know how to English, those ratios, I decided to go 2 and 1, so 2 Field Spell, 1 Trap, just because the Trap is searchable by Thrust, which obviously you can see I play Thrust, so I can Thrust for the Trap if I want, whereas you can't really do that with the Field Spell or any of the other stuff. So that was one reason. Also, this card's more proactive than like reactive, kind of. That's probably not the best way to describe it, but like going second, the Field Spell's better. Going first, generally it's better to like hard draw this than it is the Trap. Not necessarily, they're both good to hard draw, but like going first, if you hard draw like this, you can search My Friend, then you can maybe Thrust for the Trap. So that was kind of my philosophy. Like, this card is just like better to draw than the Trap is, so I would rather play 2 of this. And there was nothing else that like I would rather play over this. You could play another Board Breaker, or you could play like another Hand Trap or something, or another consistency card, even though there's not really too many to play. But I just like this. Like playing more Purrely names is not bad because it just makes your white cap better. So yeah. Then of course 3 of each of the quick plays. As long as these things are all at 3, you're gonna play them. 1 Pros because it's literally a second, third, fourth, or a second, third, fourth copy of basically every card in your deck. So this card's insane, especially going like after side. It's insane. For non-engine, I played 3 Maxi, best card in the game. 3 Ash, stops the best card in the game, so it's by extension the best card in the game. 2 Fenrir, just because it's like super good, like a super good generic going first or going second card. I played 3 Thrust. 3 Thrust, 3 Talents, 1 Herald, and 1 Duster. My main targets for Thrust, like, Talents is never bad to draw, basically. Going first or going second is really not bad to draw. So this card's fantastic. It's also good to search off Thrust, so there's that. Yeah. This card is just insane. It's good in the mirror match, it's good against Cashier, it's good against literally everything, except, like, it's even good against Lab, because they're usually going to use a monster effect at some point on your turn in your main phase somewhere, and you can just draw 2. Then Herald is obviously for the mirror match, for Purrely, and honestly for other tower decks. It's good against Cash, it's good against a lot of stuff. Then Duster is good against like a lot of decks too. It's really good against, it's solid against Lab, it's solid in the mirror, it's solid against Cash. You name it. It's just a solid card. It's better than Lightning Storm in my opinion because it doesn't have the restrictions that Lightning Storm has, and also no one summons in attack position. There's no link decks, so Lightning Storm's not even good. So yeah, that was the main deck ratios. Yeah, honestly, the only change I would consider making to the main deck is the Gamma cards. I'm not even saying like you should play Gamma, but like they're not bad. You know, if you want to cut the Fenrir, play Gamma, just try to beat Maxi better. That's fine. Also, you could play other board breakers in the main deck if you wanted. Like you could play like 1 Evenly or 1 Dark Ruler, 1 Dark Hole, something like that if you wanted to in the main deck. Definitely not necessary though because this covers so much of the field, just as is. Yeah, I thought it was clean. I really like the deck. Then for the extra, I played 2 Beauty, of course, 2 Happy, 2 Plump, 2 Noir, 1 Happiness. This might have been a mistake. 1 Sylvan Princess Sprite, 1 Assembled, 1 Fucho. These cards are all insane. 1 Downerd, 1 Zeus, and 1 Azalea. The reason I say this was maybe a mistake is because like it can be, in my testing, it can be one of 4 cards. It can be Happiness, it can be Anima, it can be Moon, so the Agent Moon thing to out like a Floodgate, or it can be like a Slacker, so another Zeus Catalyst. Other than that, I really don't know what else to play. Could be like IP or something, but that's a little weird. Yeah, there's really not a situation where you're going to be going for IP over like Assembled on your inboard, so I don't think it should be that. The reason I say Happiness was a mistake maybe is because it never came up. But also, Slacker never came up. Anima came up once, but the game was losing anyways. It came up once in the finals, but I was going to lose that game if I had Anima or not. Moon literally never came up. But this card's not bad. You know, it outs like skill drain and stuff like that. So that's cool. Technically, it can out something like, what's it called? Anti-spell. But Azalea does that anyways if you're able to have the quick plays to chain. So, I don't know. I don't know what this 15th spot should be. So let me know in the comment section down below if you have a suggestion. Outside of those 4. Like, if it's one of those 4 I just mentioned, like, don't comment it. Well, you can comment it if you want. But there's no point in commenting it because I already know what that is. Like, Robin is also, like, one. Like, this is a potential option, but this card's, like, really not even that good. Like, if you get max seed and you make this, you're still losing the game anyways. Like, so, and this is, like, almost never going to be better than going for this, in my opinion, because, like, this, you living is more important than anything. Like, really, I think what we're waiting on here is Baby Noir. It'll be Baby Noir when Baby Noir comes out. Until then, it's kind of just, like, up in the air what you play as the 15th card. So, yeah, we're chilling. But anyways, for the side deck, obviously you submit this side deck after you see what top cut is. And this was top cut, so it was 5 Purrely, 2 Lab, 2 Branded, 1 Dragon, 1 Far Higher, 1 Rika, 1 Spiral, 1 Hero, 1 Generator, 1 Umi. It's insane that these decks topped, but that's kind of what happens when you play best of 1 format. A lot of weird variance happens. But anyways, I built this side deck for that field. Obviously the called bys, crossed outs, summon limits were all for going first. The reason you need so many going first cards is because this deck loses to a single thrust 9 times out of 10. So you need cards to still be able to, like, you know, put pressure on your opponent, like summon limit. And then this obviously stops Maxi, stops Droll, stuff like that. When you know you're going first, it's good to have these cards. You also sometimes side these in going seconds, depending on the matchup. Droll is also a pseudo going first card. You can side this in going first, but generally you're going to side it in going second against most things. Going first in the mirror match, I would side this in. Going first against combo, I would side this in. Stuff like that. And it was really, really good. Droll won me multiple games in Top Cut. Every time I saw this card, every time I saw this card except for once, I won. And the only reason I didn't win that game is just because they debarriered me. Then I played 2 Shifter. This card was insane. Every time, it only resolved once in Top Cut. I only sided it in once because my Top Cut, I played against Spiral, Purrely, Lab, and I never went second versus Lab. Post board. But this won me my game 3 again in top 16 against Spiral. So this card was insane. Then Red Reboot, obviously, for Lab. Evenly for Labyrinth or for other combo decks that I want to sideboard breakers in for. Like a heavy board breaker in for. And then 1 Dark Ruler just for combo and stuff. I saw there was in the top cut I saw that there was Rika, Spiral, stuff like that, Dragons, and I was like, okay, Dark Ruler could be good here. So I should side it in. Yeah. So it was good. I did kind of this definitely helped me in my game 3 against in Spiral. I opened Shifter Thrust, which is first of all insane of an opening, but it was honestly kind of deserved because that guy, I don't usually like to equate stuff to this, but he sacked the crap out of me. Game 1 and almost game 2, he sacked the crap out of me. So it was kind of deserved that I drew double oppressive board breaker / hand traps against him game 3. But yeah, these cards were all good. The side deck was really calculated because I knew the field I was going into. It would have been nice, in the finals, it would have been really, really nice to have 3 Bells in the side deck, which originally was in my side deck. When I was prepping for this, I didn't have the Drolls in there. I had Bell in there instead. But when I was looking at this lineup, I was like, okay, Bell is good against maybe 4 of the decks in Top Cut. Realistically. It's really good against Lab, and it's okay against Branded. Other than that, nah. I don't need Bell against anything else. So I'm going to try to build my deck to get as far as I can get and hopefully win this thing. And hopefully the cards I do have for like lab is enough. And it just sadly wasn't. So really quickly, I'm going to go over my matchups. So round 1, I played against Earth Machine. I won the coin toss, and I won the game. I played really scared this game. I don't know if it was because I was like nervous, because it was the first game of the day, or if I was nervous because like I didn't really know all the micro interactions against Earth Machine, but I passed up on 4 sleepy draws over the course of 2 turns because I didn't want to play into thrust. But then I eventually played into thrust anyways because I had to use no R spins at different times. But it was just scary because the way he was playing was making me think that he had thrust, because it seemed like he was really trying to bait my no R effect in the draw phase, because he started off draw phase with like the machine thing, the Earth Machine card that summons 2 from the deck if your opponent controls more monsters than you do. And just the way he was playing made me think he had thrust. But I don't know. I definitely misplayed not drawing, because you should probably always draw, unless you know they have thrust. But yeah, anyways, I was able to get through. I never really lost control of the game, but I just didn't win as fast as I probably should have because I didn't draw like an extra 4 cards over the course of 2 turns. Round 2, I played against Scareclaw. I won the toss. Pretty much the same thing. Like, I don't know the micro interactions against Scareclaw perfectly. I know them better than I do with Earth Machine, but I didn't play like super scared. But I did play a little conservative, and it just kind of turned into a grind game. And I was able to win the grind game because Purrely is pretty good in the grind. Round 3, I played against Kashtira. I lost the coin toss, but I beat him with a single thrust. Yeah. He had Ashma Max C. Didn't matter. I had thrust. So I drew into thrust. So it was insane. Round 4, I played against Rika, the Rika player who made top 4. So shout out to Milk Bubble Tea for getting top 4 with 60 card Rika, which is insane. Yeah. He started off Loki. I lost the coin toss, by the way. So he started off normal summon Loki, go into Dry Ass. I don't know if he searched Sowing or already had it. I think he actually already had Sowing, which was unfortunate for him. Then I Ash Sowing, and it passed his turn. He did have Maxi, and I didn't have the out for it. And I did not OTK him because I messed up my sequencing. I didn't play around Ash Blossom on the OTK line. When I could have. If I played around Ash Blossom, I would have won in one turn. I would have OTK'd him, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't is because, well, on nothing I did he have a delay or reaction to anything, so he toggled off properly, and I just like got hyper focused. I got tunnel vision, hyper focused on just OTKing, and I ended up missing lethal because I searched Delicious when I should have searched Happy. So what happened was I had happiness on the field with 1 happy attached, obviously. I attacked in, dealt 2,000 damage because he had a Dry Ass that was negated and indestructible. And I searched Delicious as opposed to searching Happy. And I activated Delicious. He obviously didn't chain block there. He toggled off. And then I attacked again, had no attacks left because this gives you +1 attack. So I've used 2 attacks, have nothing left. I search Happy there, activate Happy, he Ash Blossoms, and I had to pass on not lethaling. So it was really, really bad on my part, and I did not need to search Delicious. I had lethal without this. So if I had just searched Happy, I probably could have lethaled no matter what, because he would have Ash Blossomed, then I would have attacked again, searched another Happy. Well, actually that might not have been lethal, but anyways, it would have been a lot closer. Actually, no, it would have been lethal because I had a Beauty on the field with the Delicious attached. So this was like at 26 or something like that, or 25. So I had lethal through the Ash if I didn't mess up. But anyways, that was just me being dumb and being playing too fast. Round 5, I played against Purrely. I lost the toss and I won. Generally, it's not too hard to play going second in the mirror match if they don't have a floodgate, if they don't have D-barrier, Droll, something like that, Maxi, something like that. If they don't have that stuff, it's pretty hard to win. It's pretty easy to win going second, assuming you don't draw crappy. If you're able to draw like a 1 breaker or something, you can generally win pretty easily, and that's what I did. Round 5, I played against Purrely. Round 6. Round 5, I played against Purrely. That's the one I lost. I lost the coin toss, won the game. Round 6, I played against Labyrinth. I lost the coin toss. I played against Duke, the person who ended up winning the tournament. So they beat me in round 6 and in the finals. Pain. I lost the coin toss. They set up a board, passed. They max C'd me, I'm pretty sure, and I misplayed into the max C, and I like didn't miss lethal because of it, but I missed like a really good line that I could have like probably played under max C much better, and it was just kind of unfortunate, but it didn't matter because they had D-barrier, so like even if I didn't mess up, they were still gonna like D-barrier me, but I did make a slight misplay. Just like my sequencing was slightly off, and I played into max C harder than I should have. Round 7, I played against Purrely. I won this toss, and I won the game. I don't want to like sit here and act like I'm like the end-all be-all of Purrely players, because I'm certainly not. I'm, as you guys have like heard multiple times, I make mistakes. I'm not like the best Purrely player in the world. However, I do think I played the mirror match like quite well. And going first, I know like where exactly you're supposed to interrupt them, and going second, I know where to take advantage of their interrupts, right? So I won the toss, and I was able to win the game like pretty easily. Like just spin the proper cards, make sure you survive, and you're gonna win the game, right? Because you've generated enough advantage going first to where you should win the game, right? And as long as you don't give up lethal, you should win the game. And that's just what I did. The person I beat in round 5, their mistake was they surrendered lethal to me. They gave me an opening to lethal them. They left a Purrely, an indestructible by battle, Purrely on the field. And I was able to put it into attack position and attack over for lethal. You can't really do that in the mirror match. It's like you have to play the mirror match as like, you have to play almost every match as if your opponent is going to lethal you unless you interrupt properly. Because that's generally what's going to happen. So yeah, I was able to win round 7, and then round 8 I played against Labyrinth, and I won that coin toss, and I won the game. I played really poorly in this game. Part of it was on stream, and I played really poorly. The reason I was like playing so bad is because there was 2 reasons. One, I had already guaranteed top. I was guaranteed top cut anyways. So I wasn't really like, super focused. And I was so many miles ahead of my opponent that I wasn't really focusing. I was like just playing. And I misread a cue on Master Duel. It said your opponent would like to end the main phase. Like it was like your opponent would like to like end the main, like I don't even remember what it was, but like I read it on screen as like your opponent would like to end the main phase. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, we can go to end phase. But then it just went to like the end of the turn, and like it passed to me. So like, I think it read your opponent would like to end the end phase or whatever. But I misread it because I was like tired or not focused or whatever. And I didn't spin his like big welcome that was set just by mistake. So it was like, it was an unnecessarily sloppy game that people saw on stream, but there's really no excuse for it. I played like shit. But me saying this is kind of just me saying like I wasn't super focused. I made a few like boneheaded like being tired mistakes, and I already had guaranteed top anyway, so I wasn't too concerned about it. But anyways, moving on to top cut, I played against Spiral, of course, in top 16. I won that coin toss. So just looking back at Swiss, I won 4 coin tosses, lost 4 coin tosses, which I was really happy with because I was like, okay, so I didn't win like 7 tosses, and that's like, so winning coin tosses is not the reason I topped this event. I was proud of that, happy with that. And also losing a bunch of coin tosses is not the reason I didn't make top cut. So I was happy with that. Top 16, one second, let me get a drink of water. So in top 16, I played against Spiral. Game 1, I opened a perfect hand. Full combo, end on like Noir, 7 mats, draw 2 on my opponent's draw phase, end on assembled, I'm chilling. I drew no hand traps, that's cool, I don't really play many in my deck. I only play 6, so I'm not expecting to draw them. It's always nice when you do, but I'm not expecting to draw them. This man proceeds to go. I'm going to pull up his deck really quickly. First of all, he misplayed. Well, actually, no, technically he didn't misplay, I don't think, because he had, like, the line to kind of beat me anyways, regardless if I had Ash. But he started with the field spell to try to bait an Ash, but I just spun up with no harm. So I still had 5 mats left on Noir. I didn't want to deal with this crap. It's like, get it out of there. not dealing with spiral crap. He then proceeds to go, okay, small world for Kaiju. Kaiju over, my Noir. Special Unicorn, activate 1 for 1. And I was like, okay, like what the hell do I do here? He cooked me. Game 1, he opened like Field Spell, Small World, Unicorn, 1 for 1. Something he sent off Small World, and then like, I don't know what his last card was, to be honest with you. But he cooked me. He had the like perfect combination of cards to out my Noir and then full combo. Basically on our own. And I didn't draw any hand traps, so I wasn't able to stop it. So, yeah, that was really, really, really unfortunate. Game 2, same exact thing happened. I got a good hand. Start full combo, end on like a 7-mat Noir plus assembled. Drawing a couple cards off Sleepy. I have Droll in my hand already. I draw into an Ash Blossom. I was like, okay, we're chilling. First action. He prepped or something? I don't remember exactly. His first action was a search. I Droll, he called buys. I was so scared. He then goes, Small World. And luckily I had the Ash. So I Ashed it, and he was not able to out Noir because I had the Ash for the Small World. But he opened called by Small World, going second, and I was like, that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. So he almost cooked me again. And the only reason I'm even commenting on that is just because it's 60 cards. And it's just like the variance in it. Like he drew like nearly the perfect combination of cards like 2 games in a row to just like destroy me. And like I got so lucky that I drew an Ash Blossom off Sleepy. It was insanely lucky. Then game 3, he goes first, of course. I open Shifter Thrust. So I Shifter him, Thrust into Dark Ruler, negate his Appaloosa. Proceed to just like absolutely like decimate him because I was able to like put up double Noir. And this is going to sound quite terrible, but the reason, if you were watching the stream, the reason I played quote-unquote into Kurikara, as MBT said on stream, because I rewatched the VOD because I wanted to see what they said about it because I knew the play looked weird. He said I played into Kurikara for no reason. I knew he didn't play Kurikara. Like, I knew he didn't play Kurikara. He searched Kaiju game 1, and in between games, you're able to like see what they're playing. Like you're able to look at like what everyone's playing. You were also able to like see what they were playing over the course of the event. So I knew that he wasn't playing Kurikara. So there was no reason to play around it. There was a reason to play around stuff like Herald potentially, but not Kurikara. So technically what I did was a mistake if you're trying to play around Kurikara, but it's not a mistake if you were actually like in the context of the game. And that's no disrespect to MBT because he was right. MBT was right that I played into Kurikara, but it wasn't wrong because I knew there wasn't Kurikara. Then top 8, I played against the Purrely Mirror match. This was a repeat of a match in... No, this was not a repeat of a match in Swiss. I played against this guy here in top 8. I won the coin toss, and like I said, I don't mean to like act like I'm some like great Purrely player, but I know how to play the mirror match going first. I knew they were on Purrely, obviously, because it's Top Cut. You know what everyone's playing. And I knew where to interrupt him. I interrupted him in the proper spots, and I was able to win the game. Game 2, going second, I'm pretty sure he debarriered me. I can't remember if he debarriered me or if the other guy debarriered me or what. No, I don't think it was him. I don't think he debarriered me, but I lost game 2. I might have got drolled. I'm not sure. I forgot what happened in game 2, but I did lose game 2. He played very well. Game 3, I won the toss. Same deal. I just won game 3. I'm pretty sure I drolled him. Went first, set up a Noir plus a droll, and I was able to win. Top 4, I played against Purrely again. I also won the coin toss. So I've won 3 straight coin tosses in Top Cut, which was kind of insane. Honestly, that was pretty nice. This was a rematch from Swiss, so I played against Zerg. And game 1 I won, same deal as all the other ones, I know how to interrupt it. Game 2, I max C him, and I was like, okay, good, I'm chilling, I'm winning, I max C'd him. He thrusted for D barrier. I was so salty. I was like, oh shit. He sided in D barrier, going first in the mirror match. What the hell? But he ended on just a plump plus a D barrier. So I was like, okay, this is not that bad. I can kill the follow-up plus a set, by the way. He didn't have my friend. I think I might have had Ash or something. I don't remember what it was. But he didn't get to my friend. I am able to play under the D barrier to an extent and get to the point where I have 4 spells engrave. I Azalea pop the back row, and I was going to attack into plump, but it was a sleepy. So he then sleepy, discarded, summon Black Cat, search my friend for follow-up. And I had a droll. Oh, I did not max C him. What I did was I drolled him game 1. Turn 1, I drolled him. So he couldn't add my friend. That's what it was. So he ended on like 2 cards in hand to plump a D barrier and a sleepy set. And I go Azalea, he D barriers, I Azalea pop the back row. He chains it, summons Lily, searches out my friend. I then attack into plump, kill it. Pass. He activates my friend, searches, I droll, but he's got too much at this point, and I don't have enough follow-up. I used too many cards to set up Azalea, and there was nothing I could do. I felt like I made a mistake, frankly, and the mistake was like playing so aggressive on my turn. What I should have done is I should have saved a couple spells, and I should have just made Azalea and not tried to get Azalea with 4 spells engraved. I tried to get Azalea 4 spells engraved so I could pop the back row and kill the plump, but what I should have just done was kill the plump. And I didn't do that. So technically I made a mistake, and I could have potentially won, but who knows? You know, that's one that I want back, but it is what it is. I played as good as I did what I thought was the correct play in the moment. It just turned out in the long run to be the bad play because he just had a quick play, you know, and I should have been able to read that. But yeah, then game 3 I won. I opened Noir plus Summon Limit. I opened Plump with a Leap set plus a Summon Limit plus a frickin' Droll. I abused him that game. That was like not even fair. Like it was not cool what I did. So yeah, I won that game. Then in the finals, I played against the almighty Duke. And I lost the toss, deserved, because I won 3 straight before then. But it was unfortunate to lose it against Lab, of all things. I would have much rather have lost the coin toss against the mirror match, but it is what it is. Game 1. Game 1, he maxes plus drolls me, plus full combo Lab, and I just couldn't kill him through droll plus, I just couldn't kill him through droll. It was unfortunate that he just won in the grind game. He did droll himself, which was kind of funny, but it didn't matter because droll is too strong. Game 2, I go first, and 2 really bad things happened to me in this game. The first one was I missed off of a white cat. Bad kitty. Bad white cat let me down. I missed off of a white cat, and because of that, because I missed off white cat, I didn't have the proper amount of spells in my hand to play through a Ash Blossom plus a furniture card, chain blocking my plump. He had Droll, Ash, Furniture in his opening hand, so it was in an opening 5, he had Droll, Ash, Furniture. I had a called by for the Droll. He had an Ash for my... I didn't end on... I can't remember if I ended on my friend or not. I don't think I ended on my friend. I think he ashed my Black Cat, so I didn't even get to my friend. I think that's what he did. I can't remember exactly. But what the game state was was I ended up with a Plump plus a White Cat on the field. Plump had 4 materials. I used its graveyard effect to suck up 2 things from the graveyard. But I knew he had a furniture in hand because I felt the delay. Obviously, I knew it was that or Imperm. But it wasn't Imperm because he didn't Imperm like the Plump effect to like absorb. To suck up from the graveyard, I mean. So I knew it wasn't Imperm, so I knew it was furniture. And I had 1 quick play in my hand. I had a Pretty in my hand. And I knew if I activated Pretty, he was going to just chain block it. And I was going to end on a Plump White Cat, no cards in hand pass. Like, that's losing, obviously. So what I had to do was I had to go White Cat, rank up into Beauty, and end on Beauty, Plump with 4 materials, pass. And that's obviously not enough against Lab. With, like, engine already set up from, like, having a big welcome. So, I lost that game. If I hit off White Cat, I could have ended on a Noir. And I would have been able to Noir, spin the back row. And that would have meant he used 4 cards in his opening hand. So he would have started his turn with 2 cards in his hand. 2 cards versus a, what is that? It would have been a 4 Mat Noir. So a 4 Mat Noir versus 2 cards. I might not win that game. Like, there's a legitimate chance I don't win that game because he might have had an Ariana. He might have had something good. I don't know. But I would have liked my odds in that scenario. So just like 2 really bad things happened. Him having triple hand trap and me missing off the White Cat was just too much. So GG's. Shout out to Duke. He played great. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say he. They played great. And yeah. Nothing I can do. But anyways, that's it for the deck profile. To be honest, I wouldn't make any changes. I really like the deck. Obviously, the side deck is dependent on the format, dependent on the tournament, but the main deck I really enjoyed. I think it's really solid. You could play like a Gamma package in the main deck if you wanted, plus an Omega in the extra deck. That's not bad, but I liked what I did. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. Let me know in the comment section down below what videos you'd like to see in the future. And with that being said, have a great rest of your day. Peace.